What's going on, everybody? And welcome to J Sports Seattle. In this video, I'm going to be talking about the Seahawks game last night. If you tuned in for the live stream, you saw that it was a blowout. I only streamed the first half since it was a blowout, but it was a crazy game. But I'm just going to talk about it. If you like the video, make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and share for more Seahawks and Seattle sports content. And without further ado, let's get on to the video. All right. So this will probably be a little bit of a long one because I do have a lot to talk about. But man, excuse me, man, this right here is one of the best Seahawks games I've seen in the past few years. I understand that Saints game happened, but the Saints are 1-8 and they're going to be in contention for the number 1 pick in next year's draft. The Commanders, on the other hand, these guys, they aren't good this year, but they are competitive, if that makes sense. They're there. They aren't just a weak opponent. They're just there, if that makes sense. And they have presence. I mean, they were the NFC Championship last year, and things have just not gone the Commanders' way when it comes to injuries. So, they have struggled, but we took care of business, and we more than took care of business. We showed up and we showed out again on prime time. That pushed us to 3-0 in prime time this year. So we got one more prime time game to go against the Rams on Thursday night. But so far we are looking exquisite as a team, and this team is looking absolutely for real. I was thinking a playoff contender this year. This team is legitimately looking like a Super Bowl contender. And one or two good trades could easily put us in that threshold. So, first let's just talk about that game before I get into that. This game, offensively, Sam Darnold had arguably the best game of his career, one of the best games of his career, for sure, if not the. 4 touchdowns in the first half. Obviously, he didn't throw one in the second half, but he did lead a scoring drive in the second half. Just pure dominance by Sam Darnold against this secondary. And like I was saying in my preview video, if you want to move away from the run a little bit to attack this weak secondary in the Commanders, by all means. And that's exactly what we did. I'll look at the box score. If it'll load, that is. There we go. So I'm looking at the Commanders. Just insanity. JSN had 129 yards, 15.7 yards per attempt for Sam Darnold. Even though the rushing game was still not the best. It got the job done. It was just shot. It was sub 100, close to 90. But it didn't matter though. Like I said, if you needed to move away from, which we didn't, it was 24 passing attempts to 24 rushing attempts. So it's balanced football. But I felt like we did pass a little bit more, but it was balanced football. But we did attack that secondary, especially on deep passes. And we gashed them. Sam Darnold gashed them. So that's really, really good to see. Exquisite job by Sam Darnold. This dude has lived up to the billing and then some so far with this contract. Special teams had a fumble recovery. That was insane. Just then that led to another touchdown drive on the offensive touchdown drive. So the special teams came up and showed out. The Seattle defense, man. Top 5 in the league, it's got to be. It definitely has to be. Tyrese Knight led the team in tackles with 10, with 4 solo and a tackle for loss. I thought he played a decent game overall. Even though we allowed 157 yards on the ground, a lot of that is skewed because a lot of that was in the fourth quarter when they were trying to run out the clock. because they wanted to do the game. But overall, I mean, insane gameplay from both Tyrese Knight and Drake Thomas. Witherspoon had a great game, great debut back. Not debut, but great game back. And he showed up when we needed him. Excuse me, I don't know why I'm yawning so much. It's only, it's not even 8 o'clock where I am. Emmett Warren, man, another great game. He had that tackle for loss where he shut off that defender to sniff out that screenplay. I mean, this dude, Emmett Warren, man, he's playing at a borderline Pro Bowl level already in his rookie season. And Ernest Jones, he was doing well before he went out with the knee injury. I hope he's doing well. Leonard Williams had a good game. He had a QB hit. He had a TFL. He had a sack. Okada had that interception, the first interception of his career. Like, overall, I mean, great team defense. We sacked Jaden Daniels 4 times, I believe. Yeah, 4 times. So, we pressured Daniels the most of any time he's been pressured this season. Over 50% pressure rate, which is just great. We blitzed a lot this game, which was awesome. So, this is just great overall team win. Offense was exquisite. Special teams had that special play, and they did a great job of not allowing any long returns. And then the defense, proving why they're top 5 in the league and continuing to be top 5. So this is just one of the best wins I've seen in recent memory from this team. And like I said, this is a game where we could separate ourselves from the past few seasons. Struggling to win in the middle part of the season, and we did it. We did it in convincing fashion. Is what's the best part about it. So this is just kudos to the entire team. Mike, man, like this hire right here could potentially go down as one of the best hires of all of Seahawks, not of all time, but of Seahawks franchise history of all time, I should say. Like, this is looking insane, and we are looking really, really good. Defense allowed 153 passing yards, albeit I know he, went out with that gruesome injury, which prayers to Daniels, man. That was a horrible injury, and I wish nothing but the best for him and hope for speedy and safe recoveries, because that's just unfortunate. But moving on to our injuries, like I was saying, Ernest Jones out with a knee injury, or remainder of the game he was out with a knee injury, which somebody fell on it, but according to Macdonald, it's not season ending, which is immediate good news, but we'll see how it goes. I don't know if we've gotten any updates on it. No updates yet, so I don't really know what to think about that, but he has been absolutely vital for this defense this year, so I hope he doesn't miss too much time, because we got a tough stretch coming up. Even if we have to rest him against the Cardinals and then prepare him for the Rams and the Colts coming up, I'll be it. Go for it. I'm all for it. But then we also lost another key player, and that is Josh Jobe. He had a concussion and was ruled out, and that's not good because he's having a great year at corner, and he's leading the team in passes defense. So hopefully he is not out too much longer. But it is concussion, so there is a chance he could miss the Cardinals game as well. So we could potentially be down 2 people on top of Julian Love being on IR heading into this Cardinals game. But we'll see what happens. And moving on to overall, just where the team is at right now. For the 3rd straight week, the Seahawks are still the number 1 DVOA team in the NFL. 1st overall rank, 4th overall in offense, 2nd overall in defense, 1st overall in special teams, and we are the only team to be top 5 in all phases. Passing offense, we are 1st. Rushing offense, we are 24th. Passing defense, we are 4th. Rushing defense, we are 2nd. So we're just an overall, all-around elite team, which is what I like to see from this team. I mean, Mike Macdonald has completely transformed this team. This team went from mediocre, potentially going to a full-on tanking rebuild type team, to a now potential Super Bowl contender, depending on what we do at the trade deadline coming up soon, which is what I'm about to go into now. Adam Schefter, this is on the Seahawks draft blog. Adam Schefter was on the Pat McAfee show earlier today, and he said something about the Seahawks that's kind of interesting. He said, Seattle is interesting. Something is going on in Seattle. Seattle would be a team to watch. And he did report earlier, this not too long ago on Saturday, that Seattle was receiving interest in Boye Mafe and Rick Woolen. It was a quid pro quo report, though. This was Schefter doing the Seahawks a solid, getting those two names out there. If when the Seahawks make a trade before the deadline, the chances are Schefter will be rewarded by being the first to receive a text confirming the news. So my thinking is we are going to make a splash before the trade deadline tomorrow. We're just trying to see what's going on and see what we can do. Because according to this, the draft class in 2026 is lacking in top end talent and depth. So this right now is a chance to get a good player or two. So, but in this situation in which we do use Mafe, it says that we could potentially the Seahawks could potentially want to trade Mafe first or have an agreement at the same time as they add a player in order to make sure they're not left short. Trading Mafe gives them extra stock to use in an additional deal for an upgrade / replacement. If they make a big splash making Mafe expendable, it could be harder to get maximum value if you then try and sell him. So there's a few things we could do. A lot of, the musings are Trey Hendrickson, especially after they took the L against the Bears yesterday. I'd be all for that because, yes, we need to do better at right guard, but we could bolster a strength or bolster a weakness. Right now, there's only one part of our O-line that's a weakness, and it's the run game, and it's really right guard. But man, having a guy like Trey Hendrickson on that edge, we haven't had a game changer on the edge before, and we need somebody like that. Having someone on the edge, obviously Myles Garrett isn't going anywhere. I don't think I'd want to absorb that contract anyway. But Trey Hendrickson would instantly fit on this team, and he would immediately take this defense to the best defense in the league, and we would be a Super Bowl contender. But we'll see what happens because we have our own players to pay. So John Schneider isn't going to want to have to trade for somebody and have to give him $40 million a year. And we have to give JSN, which I'll get on that in a second. We'll have to give people like JSN and Devin Witherspoon contracts extensions. Well, you know what? Which honestly, I'm going to get into that now. JSN, man, it's 8 weeks played with the Seahawks. Obviously, we're in week 9, but it's due to the bye week. We've only played 8 weeks. 948 receiving yards. I think he's already near 1,000 yards from scrimmage because he's had a couple rushes this season. It is, like I was saying in a previous video, it is time to pay this man. And we are going to give him whatever the hell he wants. Because this dude is on pace to have the best receiving season of all time. And you have to reward him for that. I'm sure right now you guys are thinking, but I don't want to shell out $40 million. You're going to have to get used to it. You're going to have to be ready for it because it's going to happen and he's going to deserve it. If you want to have an elite player on your team, you're going to have to pay him elite player money. It's just simple as that. And I'm already prepared for that. That we're going to have to give him $40 million a year. If he could be one of those guys, and he could be like, I want to get paid, but I also want to see this team win a Super Bowl. I want to help this team win a Super Bowl. So I'll be paid a top 15, or top 12 wide receiver. I'll get paid $35 million a year. He could do that. We'll see. I don't think he will because he's on pace to having the best receiving season of all time. But we'll see what happens. But Devin Witherspoon, it's a little bit easier with him because he's been injury prone throughout his career so far, a little bit, not too much, but a little bit. And he hasn't really gotten interceptions, but that can be seen as a good thing because it means that players aren't throwing to him. So he only has one career interception, and it was that pick 6 against the Giants. We could get away with paying him $25, maybe $30 million a year, but you don't want to tie $70 million to two people, and I'm sure John Schneider understands that. Maybe 60 potentially, especially since these guys are our first round picks, top 2 picks of 2023. But you don't want to have to go and start doing what the Niners or what the Bengals are doing, start just throwing money at people. So, and then obviously we're going to have to look into extending Charles Cross, because even though we extended him on his 5th-year deal, we're going to have to extend him more because he is one of the best left tackles. He's quietly one of the better left tackles in the league, and we have to reward him for that. So he has definitely done a great job of setting that edge, along with Grace Abel. Kenneth Walker, I don't know if we're going to extend him. If anything, I feel like we would trade him, and I wouldn't be surprised if we do trade him. I have a feeling that he is on the trade. He could be on the trading block, because we don't seem to be using him the way that he should be used. Clint Kubiak seems to, put the ball in Darnold's hands more, which is understandable because he's balling, and I respect that. There's a chance that Kenneth Walker could be put in a trade package somewhere for somebody. So don't be surprised if he goes. But you never know. He probably will stay with us, but don't be surprised if he does leave. But we got players to pay, and we'll probably make a splash, like a B tier splash, but nothing like S tier, not like a Trey Hendrickson or a Myles Garrett, because we just don't want to have to give up the draft capital and the financial capital for that. So, but I mean, we're in a great spot either way. I mean, next week we face the Cardinals, who right now are beating the Commanders because they are destroying the Commanders right now. Actually, not Commanders, the Dallas Cowboys. 24-7 in Dallas. Jacoby Brissett at quarterback. To be fair, though, the Cowboys have arguably one of the worst, if not the worst, defenses in the league this year. So you got to take this with a grain of salt. It is bottom 5, bottom 3, I think, in scoring. So, but we do face the Cardinals next week, and obviously you cannot write off a division opponent, even if they are 3. It's going to be 3-6, but assuming the score holds. But this, we got to go 7-2. That 100% separates us, because we haven't been 7-2 since like 2019, 2020, like those years where we were still very competitive, and that's a really good sign. We're still undefeated on the road this year. We are one of 2 teams in the league still undefeated on the road, with the Patriots being the other team. It's just elite coaching, and elite play by our players, and elite coaching by Mike Macdonald and company. So I'm extremely happy with where this team is right now, and I can't wait to see what we do, if we do anything meaningful tomorrow before the trade deadline, and go make a splash. I hope so. But yeah, I think that's all I have for this video. I will be making a preview video for the Cardinals games later on this week, probably Thursday, Friday, or potentially Saturday, but that'll happen. But if you like the video, make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and share for more Seahawks and Seattle sports content. Thank you for stopping by. Have a good night, and go Hawks, go Mariners, and go Kraken.